So the next thing is that there's this concept of remotes. Um, so I have, let's say I've already git cloned into my local copy, um, and it has a remote that is the copy I have on GitHub. Well, I need, maybe there's been an update that's occurred inside of the main mixtures repo, and I need to update what I have going on using git fetch and git pull in order to make sure that my working directory is up to date. You add a remote for the main mixtures repo. Another cool way to use remotes is that I could just, inside of my local copy, create remotes for everybody else's GitHub after I've been granted access, which you can do by going to settings, something, something. Uh, and what that does is if they have new code that they create inside of a branch, I might want to copy over that code while keeping track of its version and pull it into my working directory so I can include their work in my own while I'm iterating on top of it. Um, while once again retaining the version history, even though maybe none of that code has actually made it into the main repo yet. Typically, you only want to send it to the main repo after it's done, right? Via pull request. The last cool thing about this is maybe I have some orphaned code living out there that isn't tracked by Git at all, and I just want a really quick and easy way of actually moving that into GitHub. All I do is I use git init to create an empty repo inside of that same directory. Um, I add an upstream. Uh, I add an upstream remote, for example, my own copy on GitHub or my fork on GitHub, and I locally commit those new files inside of a new branch. Then, and make sure you commit inside of a new branch first with those new files. Um, then I check out from my remote and I merge the first branch I created into the whichever branch I'm using that is related to the upstream branch. Once I merge those together, um, all of those files are then added with a certain commit history, and you need to do something like allow unrelated histories as a command line option. I can then push that back out to my GitHub fork at that remote, which is what we're talking about down here. It's always a good idea to make sure that you git fetch and git pull before you start making any changes locally, just in case you have like some sort of stale branch going on. And that's git fetch and git pull are how you interact with those remotes in order to make sure that your local working copy is up to date and you can change stuff.